Okay. Alrighty. So I have the pleasure of introducing our wonderful speaker for today. And my apologies, I'm gonna read off my phone because we did a little rewrite of his rewrite. So Deshaun Creekmur is a self-motivated entrepreneur, marketing and event management professional with over 15 years of experience building brands and engaging fans and customers. Prior to becoming an entrepreneur, Deshaun attended Alabama A&M University to study marketing and to play football. After college, Deshaun joined the United States Marine Corps before starting his marketing career at Genesco Sports Enterprises. At Genesco Sports, he started working on experiential marketing tours and quickly became a tour manager. One of the tours he managed was the And1 Streetball Tour, which was a tour that created excitement and engagement around the And1 sneaker and clothing brands. His duties switched to client management before he left full-time employment. Deshaun left Genesco Sports in December of 2008, but remained a consultant with the company, concentrating on the Super Bowl until 2017. Deshaun was the Vice President of Business Development for Ambition Inc. in Hutchinson, Kansas from December 2007 until June of 2012. A key accomplishment while at Ambition Inc. was securing a deal to be one of only 4 approved vendors to do events at Walmart stores.
Recognizing the value in the expertise and extensive skill set he developed throughout the years, Deshaun decided to venture into entrepreneurship. In April of 2012, Deshaun created Creek Creative Marketing Strategies, which is a full-service consulting company that provides services to businesses of all sizes. Services include social media management, creation of marketing campaigns, writing copy for radio and TV commercials, mystery shopper services, and more. Currently, Deshaun is the Chief of Experiential Marketing for WOW Entertainment. He brought his vast knowledge of corporate events to WOW, and he was able to take the assets that WOW had and use them for well-known popular brands. Some of the brands that Deshaun works with are McDonald's, Frontier Airlines, Lexus, Revlon, L'Oreal, Coach, Cash App, and Bloomingdale's, to name a few.
So join us in welcoming Deshaun. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We're so excited to hear all about your wonderful marketing career.
It is my absolute pleasure. Thank you for asking me to do this. This actually kind of helps me go on to the next thing that I want to do in life, which is public speaking. I'm doing this through Zoom right now, but this is my 3rd Zoom of the day, and you all are special because I put pants on for this one. So I'm glad you're glad to be doing it. So I want to, I guess, start by elaborating a little more on what I do career-wise, because there are some things that are left out of there, in my bio, and that being, let's see, once I finished with the Marines, I did go into, marketing. I studied marketing and criminal justice. So I actually started off as a correction officer. That was my first job, out of the Marines. And I decided I no longer wanted to babysit grown men. That was not fun at all. So I ended up getting a job in sales for a company that was called The Wiz at the time. And just things led to one another. And then I got an opportunity to work for Genesco Sports. And what a great opportunity that was. I actually learned so much, working there. And a lot of things that, I'm not knocking school, but a lot of things that school can't teach you. School gave me the basic knowledge of marketing and it helped with work ethic. But what I learned at Genesco from having the opportunity to be the right-hand man of the CEO, I always call it like the school of hard knocks. It was invaluable what I was able to learn. And I'm grateful for, what I did learn there. I mean, I was able to be with senators, governors, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. And I got the opportunity to attend many different things that I never would think that I would be able to be a part of. So, it was that experience that I took which helped lead me to where I am today. The one thing I would say is that anything that came across or that I was able to do it, that was asked of me at Genesco, I did it. Perfect example. The reason how I became the right-hand man of the CEO was I was asked to drive for him around at one of the Super Bowls. And they wanted me to be his driver. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I was like, I kind of really don't want to do that. He's a busy guy and that could be a lot of pressure. But I did it. I never felt I was too good for anything. And that has led me to, the life that I have now. I mean, I'm not a rich man, but I don't have to order off the dollar menu, so I'm appreciative of what I was, able to do. From there, I mentioned how I ended up working at Ambition Incorporated. A buddy of mine that was actually, his company, and he brought me on, and yeah, we did a lot of work with Walmart and Pepsi, and like I mentioned, I secured a deal with being one of 4 companies that are allowed to work within Walmart. So I set him up nicely. I've moved on, and I started creative marketing strategies. A friend of mine had mentioned, you're really good at consulting. You're always giving people advice. Why don't you start your own thing? And I was like, huh. So I took that advice and I started it. And what I did was I worked as a server and a bartender during the day. I'm sorry, at night. And I worked on my business during the day. So that's how I was able to pay my bills by serving and bartending at night. And I didn't take any money from the business. I just continued to leave the money in the business, and the money that I made at night was how I was able to, continuously grow the business. And, it still exists today, but more on a consulting basis. I do, someone comes out, reaches out to me about a social media campaign or any, an advice, any special projects, I typically can advise and guide them on whatever it is that, they want to do, and with great results. In there, I also created a secret mystery dining, service. So a company will come to me and they may want to, maybe there's employees that are stealing, so they're either checking on that or just for service standards. I recently created a way of checking with companies now, because everyone's, when you're between the DoorDash and the Grubhub and all the takeout, and then even with the COVID, safety guidelines. So now we have a ways to check that. How do we measure up? How long is our takeout taking? How is the service of that? How is the quality of the food? Because now that the world has trended towards that, it was important for companies to stay on task and be positive, because restaurants, for example, I would say they should be okay. They should have survived the pandemic, but many of them didn't. And once people weren't dining in, if they could not get the takeout situations or right, then that led to their demise. So while doing the many things I was doing with Creek creative marketing, a buddy of mine happened to be at my house, and he was like, he got a phone call asking for to help out with at WOW, where his office was. And he was like, I can't do it, but you know what, Deshaun's here. I've been telling you about him. He might be able to do it. So I did help him out with one event, helped him out with another. And then the owner, Joe, says, I don't know that I could afford you. And I'm like, don't worry about that. We'll work something out or whatever. And they were doing mainly just social events, meaning sweet 16s, weddings, a few things. And then I I was able to, bring in my corporate experience, and I thought, I was like, why don't we use the assets that we have and reach out to the corporate world and come up with, ideas to, brand things and, do fan engagement. So, I did have a good knowledge of branding. So, we brought that, I brought that to them, and in 2019, we did 2.5 million in sales, which may not sound like a lot, but for a small business and for what we do, it's pretty good. And again, that's 2.5 million sales, and just in the corporate, in the branding side of things, and 2020 was set to be, a major, a big year. We had some major deals going on, and they're still going to be there. It's just, with the new way of the world, things got slow. One thing I forgot to mention is when things did get slow, I created Creeks Creations, which is clothing. We started off just making some masks right here in my home, and we just like put different printing on the mask, and next thing you know, we have the website and we're making all kinds of stuff. We're doing team orders, we're doing shirts, we're doing all kinds of things. So my days are pretty busy, but it actually really helped get me through the pandemic, because like I said, it started off with face masks. We made over, I think in the first 5 months, we had made over 1,000 masks, just for, different, people's personal preferences, and for their own, for teams, for dance companies, for everything, so to this day, we're still making masks, but again, we're doing all kinds of things now, and we moved on to doing things sublimation. I mean, we're doing mugs, we're doing a little bit of everything. So that is now my night job, so yeah, I stay pretty busy, but that's enough about me. One of the things, am I able to share my screen? Okay, so I'm gonna go to mine. I probably have a million things open as well. So let me show you a few things. So I'm gonna mainly talk to you about, WOW Entertainment and what it is that we do. We offer comprehensive sport event services, including strategic planning for event and experiential marketing, innovative and creative sponsorship ideation, fulfillment, activation, production, and execution, on-site execution of event and experiential marketing, and handling of various forms of corporate hospitality. Our attention to detail, authentic events, and creation of exciting experiences are the principles that drive us. Now, I want to apologize that we did have our server crash recently once while we were moving, so we lost a lot of things I could have done, showed you so much more, and much more exciting things, but I lost a lot. But what I was able to recover, I'm going to show you a few things here. Recently at Bloomingdale's, we did a grand opening. Well, we do a lot of stuff for Bloomingdale's. You'll see this claw machine that we branded for John Paul Gaultier. That was actually not at Bloomingdale's, that was at a Macy's. So that was a separate event. But that for a grand opening of Bloomingdale's in California, here we have our Hammerhead, which is the band Barber. They have coats and stuff that they do.
I'm sorry, Sean, are you sharing your screen?
Can't see anything.
You can't see anything? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I am not doing this right.
If you have it like up, I feel silly having to tell you this because I'm sure you know more about this than me, but if you have it like pulled up in the background, for me, that's the only way it works. I don't know if anybody else has that same situation. There we go.
Okay, so that's the wrong thing. That's the night job. Let's see. Okay, you all see this?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so that's what I was just talking about there. The first part of it, I apologize. just about wow and what we do. And here's what I was mentioning. This is a claw machine that we've taken. We did it for Jean Paul Gaultier, and that was we did that at a Macy's an event. Here you'll see this barber that is their coat line and like outerwear, and we take these items and we branded this. We did it in house, and obviously you play the game, and it was just for fun. Depending on what you got, they gave out prizes, and I think for that one they gave away a free coat. Also at that Bloomingdale's, we took a Zoltar. One of the things that we do for Zoltar, and I so apologize that we couldn't I couldn't locate a photo of that, but we we did at the Tommy Hilfiger in New York City on Fifth Avenue. They did a line with Zendaya, and it was all branded out for what that line was, and the tickets that came out were different like sayings. It was branded, for Zendaya by Tommy Hilfiger, and there were like certain after so many a coupon would come out. It would say like 50% off. So we've come up with different ways to brand different things. We'll do. I don't have it in here. We've done a money booth, where you can go in and the money swirls around, and we put different coupons in there, for different brands, and so we'll brand the whole thing. So that was good. This is just a claw machine, and in there they had like different perfumes and discounts, and I think there was bags in there. We also had skee ball from Michael Kors. I'm not sure if you can see that's Michael Kors there, and that's the branding that we did on it. You had to get a score of 350, which is pretty tough. But 350, you got a free Michael Kors bag. Here we have Hugo Boss, and we branded our Hoop Fever basketball game. And there, if you got over 50 points, you were entered in for a chance to win a prize. And I think there were probably about 10 people that got over it, so they were able to win. It was like shirts that they were giving away for that. So that was that. And most recently, we did a promotion with Coach as they were launching the John, I don't know if it's Michael or Michelle Basquiat. Well, let's just say for Basquiat. So we did a claw machine, and inside there was just different like little rubber wristbands, and then there were different coupons in there, and then there was like one specific it was like hidden. They told us to hit it far down the bottom, and that person could win a free Coach bag up to $1,000 or whatever it was. So this just shows one of the backdrops that we had. Some of the claw machines were in stores. So that's just to show you a little bit about what we do with some of the brands, especially on the fashion side. We've started partnering with many more to do, different things, because engagement, I think, is a big thing. So we'll do a lot of things in store where they, we've come to them and said, hey, here's an added incentive. There's a sneaker store called Haystack in New York City, and was it Woodstack? I don't know, but they have all kinds of like exclusive sneakers, and we did an event there with them one day, and I mean, I got there, I think the store opened at 11, I got there at 8, and there was already a line off the door because they were releasing a new pair of Jordans. So we came in with a branded claw, and then they said, well, what can we do here? So we had a bunch of different stress balls and we've taken the stress balls, and I think there was red, green, and white and yellow, and the two yellow ones you were able to get an exclusive pair of sneakers. So we would come up with we would come up with ways to, but you had to spend $250. So if you spent $250, you got a chance to use use the claw, and then for a chance to win, that. So that was actually helped drive sales for them, because if someone was close, they were like, hey, if you spend a few more dollars, you get a chance to win the claw, and then you can win an exclusive pair of sneakers. So we partner with different companies and come up with a lot of different ways to make fun and excitement around the shopping experience. Around Christmas, we do a lot. Sorry, I can't forget the name, but there's a boutique. They have one in Philly, I guess in the downtown area, and then they have one out near Bryn Mawr, but it's a small boutique. Can't remember the name, so I apologize for that. But yeah, so we do a lot of stuff with clothing brands and a lot of different things. Zegna, Esmeraldo Zegna, we do a lot of stuff with them now, around the city and across the country. And I actually just recently, do I have it up here? On my other side of my business, I branded. We put stress balls and a claw machine for them, and same thing. You find the right ball, you win a free pair of shoes. But my Creeks Creations business, we did all the branding on the stress balls, as well. So double dipping there, but so again, so we work with some really good brands. I'm probably forgetting a few, but yeah, the biggest thing was to create excitement, as another sales opportunity, because the shopping world is changing as well. A lot of people are shopping online, so we've reached out to people to try to create excitement in the stores, to try to bring people into the stores. I'm working up a deal. I mean, it's a long ways away, but for the next Christmas season, Westfield, the brand Marvels, they have a property at the World Trade Center. They have like a shopping area, and then there's a large mall here in New Jersey called Garden State Plaza. So we're trying to bring in different items, throughout the mall that they can promote, to bring people into the mall. And then what we do is we would offer it to stores, and they can brand, it's different store brands, and they can offer branding and the sponsorship for it. That'll help cover their costs, and that'll get other stores involved, and they can just all promote that, to help, different people, and bring more people in the store, because everyone is shopping online. So it's just finding new ways to navigate the shopping world. And then lastly, I'll say one of the other big things we do is mini golf. We have two different forms of mini golf. We do an 18-hole mini golf at Denver Airport every year, and we do all kinds of other mini golf courses throughout the country. Actually, we're actually rated the #1 company that does mini golf. So if anyone recognizes this, anyone was there. I don't know if you can see the first 3 holes are TJ and a U.
Yeah, get out of here.
So we've been there. Yep. So yeah, so what I did was because we had the event there, I was able to it took me a good amount of time to come up with how to design the TJ and the U, because that's not a normal thing. So, but I was able to come up with that. So we did that there. And yeah, so that just shows some of the things that we do.
Interesting.
Yep.
This is awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. No problem.
Deshaun, I think this begs the question,
Mhm.
and if students want to raise their hand or put it in the chat, how many of you, when you've gone into a retail space, have seen and or engaged with experiential retail like this, done a claw game, done a skee ball game, done the basketball game, all of these things that Deshaun is showing us. How many of you have engaged in it in an actual retail space before? Trying to see if there's any hands raised. Hold on. No hands raised? Okay. Well, oh, wait, Emily, one hand raised. Okay. What about, let me give you another version of the same question. How many of you would be interested or be brought into the retail space to shop if you had incentives like being able to get a coupon playing a game like this? How many of you would want to now go? Now we got the hands going up. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it keeps going. All of us. So I think it's unanimous.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. One of the most, I would say, fun activations we did was with the money booth. Was at Frontier Airlines. So when Frontier Airlines is launching in a new city, they call me up. They say, "We want to launch in a new city." We don't even change the promotion. We just bring the money booth, we set it up, and everyone is able to kind of come in and get into the money booth, and whatever they grab, they get flight credit for that amount, but I will say this: brands don't always listen to me. I'll try to give them my best advice, but we set up at the Hoboken train station. It's in New Jersey, and we set up in at Paramus Mall, which is kind of a pricey mall, and I think I forget the other place we went, but they were basically kind of like high-end areas, and they're like, people are not participating. I said, well, one, because they are rushing, and two, I mean, it's Frontier, you're a budget airline, you know what I mean? The people that you're asking to are, they don't mind spending the money, or it's company money, so they don't care, so they're not gonna, get on a plane like that. So I don't always get brands that listen, but that was a great, promotion. I mean, I've been flying for free for a while. I'll get on Frontier for free, but I'll tell you where it did do. We did do it in, I forget the name. It was in Philly, downtown. I forget what the name of whatever square it is, down near
Franklin Square.
Franklin Square. Yeah. It went well there, that it went well. We were there, doing that promotion there. It went very well. So, yeah, I mean, the engagement and drawing customers in and giving people stuff for free is great. At McDonald's, I did something in Koreatown that went very, very well. I mean, the lines were super long because everyone was getting something for free. And there, what we did is we did a soccer thing. So we also create different things. We created a soccer game, and I created a football field goal game as well. And in that football field goal game, it's like you kick a scaled down field goal. And I was able to find a company out in the UK to create, Germany, and to create this radar. And the radar, the speed converts it to miles per hour. And that has done very well with that. So I use that event and this software that I developed to capture data, because the hope for it was actually in Philadelphia. I was hoping to get Philadelphia a Super Bowl. It did not work, but I will say I am the reason that the draft was in Philadelphia one year. They used the data that I created to present to the NFL on why they should get the NFL draft. And that was, I think, the second year that it wasn't in Rockefeller Center, because he was always in Rockefeller Center. Then it went to Chicago one year, and then the data that I created around people trying the field goal thing, the city of Philadelphia presented to the NFL, and they were able to get the Super Bowl. I mean the draft. Can't get the Super Bowl because there's a lot of factors that go into it. Hotels, dining, traffic, and stadium size. I think part of the problem is the link isn't big enough for what they want to do Super Bowl wise. So that's that there.
But that's a phenomenal accomplishment, though. Congratulations.
Thank you. I presented it to a few other cities as well, that are using it. See if you mind my mess, I can show you with the I want to show you. I have some raw footage of what the Super Bowl, what the field goal challenge looks like, but I have so many files open and it's probably gonna be a mess. I'm sorry, I can't show you right now, but that's that. Actually, hold on, let me unshare my screen for a second and find it then.
While Deshaun's doing that,
Yeah, I'll take questions if anybody has
I
them.
know I'm in awe. Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say, Deshaun. So while Deshaun is doing that, does anybody have any questions they want to put in the chat or anything that they're thinking about?
Well, one of the questions that I saw, someone asked about my day. While people are going through, I'll tell you. I don't have a typical day, but let's just say what I would consider a somewhat typical day is I wake up typically at 5:30. It seems like no matter what time I go to bed, 5:30 I wake up. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. The first thing I do is I open Facebook. Bad habit, but I do that. Then I go on and I look at all my other social media. Then I go to my bike. I have like a recumbent style exercise bike. And I go on there for about an hour and I read emails and I look at investments. My investments, and I look at investment opportunities. And then I read there's an app called Marketing Brew. So I basically use the time to educate myself while I'm accomplishing something. So that's how that part of the day starts. Then then it's just basically emails throughout the day for a little while. And depending on I watch inspirational quotes and videos. And then I really, really get going with my day, because at that point, emails are coming in, the phone's ringing, employees are asking questions or calling out or whatever. So then, and then that's considering a non-event day, because an event day can go all day or there's travel with that. And then if I'm, then I'll take 2 hours and then I'll work on, some of my other like consulting things. Marketing. That 2 hours every day goes to marketing. One of my favorite quotes is from Peter Drucker, and maybe not everyone may agree, but he says, the only two things that make money are marketing and innovation. Everything else is an expense. So I spend time on marketing.
Is there a dream company that you would love to work with?
You know what? I don't want to sound arrogant or anything, but I think I worked with everybody that I think that I would want to. I was fortunate. The only thing that I was trying to, really start to do is I wanted to get more into basketball. And I just did the NBA All-Star game this past weekend in Cleveland. I've worked with other brands. I'm actually supposed to be in LA right now to do something with T-Mobile. So, you name it, I pretty much have gotten an opportunity to work with them. Pepsi, a lot of the sports events. Oh, as I was going through my day, yeah, sorry. So marketing, I do that. And then I spend the next half of the day I just picked up a new job. In addition to the other stuff, I am now the director of sponsorships and events for a company called Dream Scout Network. I'm sorry, Dream Sports Group. It has a different parts of it, and it's basically a youth. But it's a program that kind of promotes different events and recruiting services and exposure for high school athletes. So yeah, so typically from 4 to 6, I work on that, and then maybe after dinner 7 to 8, I'll do that, and then from 9 to about 2 a.m. I do my design stuff. That's my day.
So you sleep about 3 hours.
Exactly. And
That's a hustle.
I actually try to sleep more than that, but I think I have an overactive mind, and that's probably the problem.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
You're so creative that your mind just keeps going.
Yep.
Mhm.
I think I think one of our professors, our fellow professors, Professor Barada Sims, actually has a question.
Okay.
So, I mean, all I can say is what you've come up with is so unique and different that I mean, I think it's wonderful. But what my question is that, gaming is such a major influence right now, and how much of it has influenced you and your inspiration of what you've come up with. And if you didn't, I could honestly say that I appreciate what you've done better, because it's all you and it's not reliant on that whole gaming industry. Because I'm not really certain that, with all the cryptocurrency and the NFTs and all that, I don't know if that's the way to go, but I like what you've come up with. So was there any influence from the gaming industry?
You mean like as far as like
some of your ideas? I don't know. I don't play these games.
Oh, well, no. So we actually, I'll briefly talk about now there's this thing called esports, which we've kind of started working with that, and that's basically like just the video games, right? And people are now, people will watch people stream a video game, right? And then now they're, brands are starting to attach to these players. So they're sitting there with a video game and they'll have a Red Bull on their screen, you know what I mean? And now brands are starting to, sign these people because they get so many, people. So, I mean, I don't know that the gaming necessarily, influenced me, but I saw an opportunity there, and it was just thinking outside the box. Was what had happened. I was like, what can we do with what we have? You know what I mean? So again, going back to the assets that WoW had, it was, any video game or any game you'd see in an arcade, we have it. And my thought was, how could we use this? And it just kind of just came to me, why don't we get more involved with brands and events, and then at stores and definitely, on the clothing side. I cannot find my my field goal thing. My new version of it. My apologies. I can show you really quickly the mini golf, one of our mini golf things that we did. Let me pull that up 1 second. But yeah, so sorry, I don't have a better answer. I don't know how I don't say that it's done out of desperation. I think it's more of a matter of just coming up with just different ways to keep growing, and to to make money and to stand apart. So here is our what one of our, you saw the one mini golf that we did. This is what we do at Denver International Airport. I create each hole and some of them are, you know, really long. And we actually there's nothing on these, but we'll sell sponsorships to where like on the greens we'll brand out different things. And there's some of the flags. I mean, we design all those things. And then so inside that airport, so Denver Airport is typically ranks back and forth between the #1 and #2 airport in the country. One of the problems that they have is they have a lot of delays. When you go across country, there's a lot of companies that I mean, a lot of layovers. You know, a lot of people tend to lay over there, but it's very windy there, so they have a lot of different. They get a lot of delays. So what we did was we partnered with them and we created different things. So we've done an outdoor adventure thing. Again, we have this mini golf. We do a month every year. That's a ski ball branded. And while people are waiting, it's just something for them to do. And because of the different events, you know, that actually helped them, you know, and they give us credit that helped make them one of the #1 one of the top airports in the country because of the different things that they have going on. So that's that, you know. Oh, this here is what we did for McDonald's. So this is another creation that we have. You'll see a second. It's a target, and basically you kick at one of the targets, and behind that it displays a prize. So it'll say, you know, win a free Big Mac, or, you know, win a free coffee, and it changes. So it's not the same. So like the next person comes up, it won't be the same thing. And and then this is like a scaled down version. It's not the full version of it. I guess it goes back to mini golf. So let's go back. Let's talk about that a little bit more. Yeah, so you would see the goal, and yeah, you would kick it virtually, and then it would just say that. So that's something else that we created, and we put different layers behind it. I always call it my branding machine. So that's what I sold in the McDonald's, and then now we do McDonald's for their education initiative. We've taken a Keymaster game, barber cut light, claw machines, and inside there they put branded socks, you know, earbuds, gift cards, you know, and a bunch of different things. So we've come up with, you know, different things. So we have a nice partnership with McDonald's now too. So just to show you that.
John, I do have a question that I think is really great from a student, if I can introduce her to
Sure.
ask. I know we only have you for about 4 more minutes, and then you have to get back to your long day, but
You guys, I mean, I'm here for as long as you need, but yeah, but go ahead.
Claire, can I introduce you to ask your question?
Sure. So I was just wondering, you can just pick like a project that you want to talk about, but what does the design process look like from start to finish?
That's an amazing question. Well, let's think about what it takes. So what we do is, you know, we'll take a section of the warehouse, and we leave it blank, you know, and then we say, all right, well, what can we do? What can we come up with? And let's say when I came up with the longest field goal challenge, that was a matter of we started off with a banner. Took a banner and had it printed. We said, all right, well, we're going to take a tee and we'll kick it into it. That's not exciting enough. That's not good enough. You know, and then we added I went to came over with that. I said, we need a real field goal. Went to a welder, had him design it, you know, kick the ball. It's like, well, it's cool, but it's still not good enough. You know, so then it was then we put netting behind it, and then we're like, all right, well, we can have people kick it as far as they want. That's still not good enough. I need something, more exciting. What's more of a draw? Then I got the idea. It's like, what if we, and then mind you, we're using things that we have, right? So we already have like a batting cage and all that stuff. I'm thinking like, all right, well, we got the radar there. So what if we can take the radar and see how that works? Well, it's like, all right, well, you kick the football, 10 miles an hour. Well, I mean, what does that matter? So then we got the idea to see how can we get this converted into yards. So, we first started doing, all right, well, what if we do math? And well, that takes too long, and I'm not a mathematician. That's not going to work. So I reached out to the company and asked them, hey, can you design this for us? Boom, they designed that, and it's cool. Well, then we take it a step further, which I wasn't able to mention, is now we added an instant replay feature to it. So now what we do is, you kick the field goal, it converts the miles into yards. We have it so they on display, and then there's screens on the trussing. And again, I'm sorry that I don't have this to show you, but the screens on the trussing, and it shows you your kick, in reverse. So it shows your name, it shows you what you did, and then we've added a branding aspect. So on your name, it'll say, presented by, Thomas Jefferson University. You know what I mean? So we've added different branding layers to it. So it's basically, putting it out there, sitting in front of you, and then just constantly thinking of how can I take this to the next level. So I've done that with football. I've done that with soccer. We've done it with the claw machines. We've done it with pinballs. We've done it with our casino tables. We do large casino events. I mean, we have, over 60 different casino tables. Well, I mean, 60 tables, but of different games. And we've added branding and customization to the casino tables. Again, all the different video games, so a lot of the time it's just sometimes just taking the time to sit an item out, think, how can we elevate this? And a lot of times I don't see it there. That's some of the things that wake me up in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? What if we, we try this? So a lot of trial and error is the short of it.
Great.
Can I just take a picture for our social media post, if that's okay?
Thank you, Carter. You guys are so on it. I love it.
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to give us a countdown, Carter? And you know how to do the screenshot?
I'm using the snipping tool, so that might.
Okay. All right. Well, you know even better than me. So why don't you give us a countdown?
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you, Carter. Thank you to our student presenters for today. And of course, thank you to our esteemed speaker, Deshaun. We love having you. Your work is amazing. It truly does speak for itself, but getting to hear a lot of the background and your expertise just made it that much more special for us. I hope that, I don't think I was a part of TJU when you had that awesome little installation, but I hope that we can have one again soon so that we here can all be a part of it.
Well, we've done it 2 years in a row. That was actually just in this past August or September. It was by the I forget what it stands for. CAB is the committee that threw it. It was
Did anybody see it?
It was on a Saturday night.
Oh, it was a Saturday night. Okay.
Well, dang. Well, that's why that we weren't there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to find a way to get you back so we can be a part of it.
Well, yeah, I definitely look forward to that. Any questions? I mean, I really enjoyed doing this. Again, I would have been able to, show you more and tell you more, but we're getting more and more back from our crash server every day. So, I mean, any questions, if you need to know any more, I'm here. One of the questions that I do want to answer, it's not a flex, but one of the questions that was sent to me was, what was one of the one word of advice that you got from someone that you like? And actually, I'll tell you what it was. Make sure I got the question right, and then I'll let you all go. It was what is some advice? No. Okay, what was one key piece of advice that you were given in your life that sticks with you to this day? That question was by Tiana, is it? And the answer to that came from Warren Buffett. I got to meet Warren Buffett, and we sat and talked for a little while, and he says, I says, what's a piece of advice you can give me? He says, what goes down must come up. And I was like, are we talking about stocks here? He was like, I'm not going to give you stock advice, but just know what goes down must come up. And he's like, it's not just about stock, so I was able to take that, and think about, because, with marketing, marketers typically are supposed to, said to it, you can attack a business based on when they're down, right? When they're down, typically want to spend more money to kind of save the business. It's kind of a principle that they, possibly should do. But I use that to, not be to go after companies, but to encourage them that, you may be down, but if you do the right things, you can always build it back up, and I've been able to use that in a lot of different things in my life, and it kind of keeps me going positively. And, yeah, so I thank Warren Buffett a lot because, anytime that, things get down and, not just for me, for any of the businesses that I work with or anyone that I'm consulting on, I'm able to let them know that there's only one place to go, and that's up, So I'll, I guess the last thing I'll say is what I say to anyone that I'm consulting, any of my athletes that I work with, and that's just outwork everyone. It's my motto, outwork everyone.
I love that. Thank you so much, Deshaun. If we can give our speaker a round of applause. If it is silent.
Thank you. And I also wanted to take a couple seconds just to send a huge shout out to Andrea, who's my best friend. So we share best friends. Andrea and I went to college together. So we've been friends for over 20 plus years. She recommended Deshaun. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate her. And thanks again for being with us tonight.
Well, hopefully I didn't make her look bad,
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, she always spoke highly of you and said, told me how many incredible projects you've worked on. So we've been dying to host you. So I'm glad you were able to find the time, because as we could see, you are extremely busy. And we appreciate you.
No problem. And again, thanks for having me. Pleasure. Love to do it again if you'd have me.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And I'll see my students next week.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.